Hi there, this is Trainer Julia and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time watching, please subscribe if you like what you see and don't forget to hit the bell to be alerted to new videos. Today we're going to do a chest, back, and shoulders workout. I love doing this routine because I like having shapely shoulders, a firm chest, and a nice firm back. We're all looking for that, we're all working on it. So without further ado, chest, back, and shoulder day, let's go. All right, here we get right into our chest, back, and shoulders workout. Always a good idea to start with the biggest muscle in the body. So I start with my chest. We're going to do some chest presses now. I have a bench, but you can do this just as easily on the floor, and you'll need 2 dumbbells. I'm using 20-pound dumbbells. I've worked my way up to that weight. I can do a little heavier, but for the purposes of this, I'd like to be able to do about 8 to 12 reps. So when you're going in to do any kind of a weight workout, you want to pick a weight that you're comfortable enough to do about between 8 and 12 reps. If you can do more than that, you need to increase the weight. If you can't do that many, then you have to lower the weight a bit. So we're sitting on our bench, carefully getting down into position. Weights are parallel to the body. Push up and lower down with control. And that's just as simple and as hard as it is. So we're obviously working the pectoralis muscle, the muscles of the chest, which are going to help to firm up our chest area. And it's a very important set of muscles to work every week when you're doing your workouts. Okay, let's do 3 more. We're going to lower with the same control that we lift. We're not going to drop the weights. And we're not going to let them fall beyond that 90-degree mark. Let's do 2 more. Breathing out as you push up. And we'll do 1 more. Okay, so bring the weights into the body when you're done. Get yourself up into a sitting position again, I should say. All right, so that was a chest press. So the next exercise we're going to do is we're going to rotate and do shoulders now, and we're going to do a shoulder press. Like a military press, we're going to be holding the weights parallel like this at 90 degrees, and then we're just going to lift and lower with control. So once again, picking a weight that you can do 8 to 12, and then you should be fatiguing at the end of that, so you just can't do those last couple, or they're very, very difficult. One of the big things people do that gets them injured and turns them off lifting weights, which is terrible because lifting weights is so good for the body and so important, is that they use too heavy of a weight and they get injured. So let's do 2 more. If you wanted to make this a little easier, you could do 1 arm at a time. It's a little bit more difficult doing both at the same time. 1 more on each side. And lower. So that was a great exercise, shoulder press, military press, for the muscles of the shoulders. All right, so next we're going to do some rows, which work the muscles of the back. We're going to do individual rows on the bench, but again, this can be done on all 4s on the ground. You don't need a bench to do this. I bought this bench off Amazon, so I feel like I should use it because it was like $100. Remember back when everyone was desperately trying to buy equipment because we all had to work out at home? Some of you are back at the gym now. So we're on the bench, 1 knee, 1 hand, or on all 4s if you're on the floor, trying to keep the back as flat as possible. We're holding that. We're using a heavier weight here. I believe I've got 30 pounds on here. So a little bit of a heavier weight, and we're going to drop the weight down, and we're just going to lift and lower with control like we've been doing all along. We're going to do about 8 on each side. 4. Again, you don't want to go up too high. That's about the end of the movement. You don't want to fling the weight up, and you want to keep in control. Okay, let's do 2 more. Great, you're doing great. So of course what we do on one side, we must do on the other. So we're going to quickly switch sides here. The nice thing about this exercise is it very much isolates the muscles of the back, which is exactly what we want to do. So again, we're in that position where we're just supporting ourselves, making sure we're not going to fall or lose our balance. And then we're just lifting and lowering again with control on the other side. You will always find that one side is weaker than others, sometimes substantially so. So the antidote to that is you just have to work that weaker muscle as much as you can, the same as you do the stronger side, so that both can become equal. And we'll do 2 more. All right, so those were dumbbell rows. And I just want to say I do have a bit of equipment here, but you could actually do this entire workout on the floor with one set of dumbbells, whatever set of dumbbells that you had at home. You don't necessarily need different sizes to do this. You will still get benefit. All right, so those were rows for the muscles of the back. All right, so we're going back around to our rotation, back to the muscles of the chest again, and now we're going to do some flies. They're kind of similar to chest presses, but we get to use some different lesser pectoralis muscles when we do this. It's a great idea to do different exercises for the same muscle group, so you'll hit different smaller muscles and get a more well-rounded workout. So I've got those 2 20s, so you might have the same weights that you used for the dumbbell chest press. And then we're back on the bench, being very careful, of course. And then the best way that somebody described how to do this exercise to me is that you're hugging a barrel, right? So think about that. You're widening the arms and then just come in as if you're hugging a barrel. And actually, ever since that person told me that, I feel like I've never done that exercise wrong. It was a great piece of advice. So we're going to do a few more. Again, we're going to control the up and the down movement because you get almost as much benefit from the down portion, the eccentric portion, as you do the concentric portion. And 2 more. Should be really feeling that. If you're using a weight that's challenging, let's do 1 more. And get back up nice and easy into a sitting position. So we always want to do a level of weight, a heaviness of weight that challenges us with the last few reps. Working out with weights is all about the overload principle. So over time, your muscles quickly adapt to these 20-pound dumbbells. Pretty soon I'll adapt to these, and then I'll have to add on 5 pounds, and so on and so on. And as you add on weight and your muscles tear and grow and become used to that larger weight, that's how they grow. So if I kept using 20-pound dumbbells forever and never increased my weight, I'd stay around the same level of tone I am now, but I wouldn't get bigger. So it depends on your goal, strength, endurance, or if you want to get bigger, you would use the overload principle and continue to add weight as you worked out. All right, so now we're going back to the muscles of the shoulders again. Remember, we're doing this little circuit. And so we're just going to do some lateral raises. We're holding a dumbbell, a slightly smaller dumbbell in each hand. And we're just going to raise and lower, again, with control is the most important part. So we're very strongly working the muscles of the shoulder again with this. And isolating the shoulders, I try to do that at least a couple of times a week. A lot of people focus on the back and the biceps and the triceps and the core, and they forget about the shoulders, but shoulders are a very important muscle to keep strong and toned. And also having nice rounded shoulders is really a good part of having a nice looking set of arms. If you want your arms to be nice and toned, you do have to work the shoulder muscles. Let's do 2 more. And even if you use a smaller weight, just because we're doing a certain number of reps, you should be feeling that very strongly right in your shoulders. I certainly am. I'll do 1 more. And the other thing you can do, let's do 1 more, is you can just hold it. That hurts a lot more. Try that one more time. Just hold it for a second. It's just like 1 second. But man, you can really, really feel that. Let's do one more. This is the last one, I promise. And just hold it for that second and then lower even more slowly. Awesome. All right, so those were lateral raises for the muscles of the shoulder. All right, so now we're cycling back to do another back exercise. So here's one that I like to do. If you don't have, I'm using a plate. If you don't have a plate, you can use a dumbbell for this, or even a kettlebell or something like that. Anything that's a bit of a challenging weight. So I've got a 25-pound plate here. And I'm just standing nice and tall. And main thing is have a very good grip on the weight. You don't want to drop a weight on your foot. It's not happened to me. I don't ever want it to happen to me. It would break your foot. It wouldn't be fun. You don't want to drop weights on your feet. So nice firm grip on that. And then we're just going to lift and lower. I really like this one. So this does also work the shoulder muscles, but it also strongly works the muscles of the back. I'm going to turn sideways. I can't do too many of these. I can maybe do 8, so let's do 3 or 4 more. Try to keep that control on the way up and down. You don't want to drop it. I'll do 1 more. 1 more. Whew. That was great. And put the weight down gently when you're done. Don't drop it. So that was another exercise for the muscles of the back. So I just moved my bench aside here so I could show you some push-ups. We've gone back to the chest muscles again. And one of the most effective exercises that you can do for your chest muscles that requires no equipment and is very challenging is push-ups, because you're using your arms and your chest muscles to push your body off the floor. So that's what we're going to do next. You can also do these on the knee if you're a beginner, and a lot of you have done push-ups, so you know what knee push-ups are like. So anyway, hands are below the shoulders, feet are extended, and we're just lowering and lifting. We're going to do 8 of those, 2. So lowering down almost until your face is touching the floor. 5, I think that was. Breathing out as you push up. I'll do 1 more. I can't remember how many I did. But maybe I didn't do 8, so I should do 1 more. All right, I think that was at least 8. So push-ups are not an easy exercise to do. It wasn't like I just started doing push-ups and I could easily do 8 push-ups. You have to work your way up to it. So do 3 on the knees, 1 regular, go back to the knees. Keep moving and moving until you can do 8 regular push-ups. I've been working my way up and it feels really good to be able to do 8 push-ups. And now when I do my chest, back, and shoulders workout, I do 3 sets of 8 push-ups. So just as a quick reminder of how to put this together in a workout, if you're splitting your workout like I am and say you're doing chest, back, and shoulders one day, I'm showing you a lot of different exercises, but you might pick 4 or 5 of the ones I've shown you today. We're not done yet, but you might pick 4 or 5 of those and do 3 sets of each one. And then the next time you did chest and back, you'd want to switch it up and try a few different exercises. So I'm just showing you the wide range of exercises you can do, and you can pick the ones that you want to incorporate into your workout. All right, so here we are. We're back to shoulders. Yes, we're back to shoulders. So I'm going to do an exercise that I like that's just called Around the World. And just like it sounds, you're just lifting and lowering. That's why it's called Around the World. With control. You're using quite a few different muscles to make this happen, but your shoulders are definitely involved. Probably more heavily than a lot of the other exercises, and you should feel this really strongly in the shoulders when you're doing it, because I sure do. We're going to do 3 more. This one is challenging, even at a small weight, and challenging to, feel that? Challenging to control the weight on the down when you start to fatigue after you've done a few of them. I really like this exercise, though. It's very effective even with a small weight. I'm shaking, but that's probably a good thing. I'm going to try to do one more. Come on, Julia. Come on. Whew. All right, so that was round the world. Another exercise for the muscles of the shoulders. All right, this is the last exercise of this routine, last exercise. So we've cycled all around, and we're going to do one more exercise that more isolates the muscles of the back. So remember when we did the chest flies? On the bench, we're going to do reverse flies, which work the back. So very important thing to remember when you're working out with weights. Whenever you work one muscle, it's very important to work the opposite muscle. That's why I like to do chest and back on the same day and biceps and triceps on the same day, because you can evenly work out the front and the back, or the antagonist and the protagonist of each set of muscles in your body, so you're not imbalanced. So we've worked the front, we're working the back. This is our last exercise. We're going to go in with those same 20 pounds or whichever weight you feel. You can do about 8 reps with this one. And we're going to lean forward to close to 90 degrees, put those weights in front of us. And then we're just lifting and lowering with control. We're tired now. We're at the end of our workout. So we're just focusing on lifting the weights up. So kind of the opposite of a barrel hug here. 5. I'm definitely feeling that in the back. Not pain, but just feeling the burn. 1, I'm going to try to do 2 more. And really trying hard not to drop the weights, but trying to lower them with control. Try 1 more. That was heavy, man. All right, so that was our last exercise. Reverse flies for the muscles of the back. I hope you enjoyed that workout. I thought it was really fun. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the Trainer Julia channel, and you'll get a lot more workouts like this one. Short, 15 to 20 minutes in length, and usually require little to no equipment and can be done in your own home. Obviously, I'm in my own home. This is Trainer Julia saying thanks very much for watching, and have a fit day.